If there's anybody on this planet who's definitely sold their soul to the devil, it's the people on this list for sure. My name is AJ Spatola with Most Amazing, and these are the billionaires who sold their soul to the devil. At number 10 is Trump, whose net worth sits at $3.2 billion. Yeah, no way. That figure most definitely comes after taxes. Trump is often associated with the idea of billionaires making deals with the devil due to his controversial actions and behavior. Known for his catchphrase, "You're fired," from a reality TV show, Trump's approach can be seen as brash and lacking empathy. He's been found to exaggerate about his wealth, business dealings, and various other topics. During the 2012 election cycle, he used it more as a platform for self-promotion rather than genuine political intentions, even spreading false claims like the baseless theory that Obama wasn't born in the US. Intriguingly, Trump avoided serving in the Vietnam War through deferments, claiming a high draft number when, in reality, he had other reasons, not wanting to go to Vietnam to fight in a war, obviously. This highlights a pattern of behavior that adds fuel to the perception of billionaires making morally questionable choices. At number 9 is Peterson, a billionaire valued at $1.3 billion, who co-founded the Blackstone Group with Stephen Schwarzman. His goal? To dismantle societal security and Medicare, pivotal safety nets for millions. Peterson's approach involves funneling vast sums into creating unfounded panic about deficits. His austerity fixation, seen in places like the UK, is akin to economic quackery. Despite his failures, his messaging gains traction. He leverages media, hosts high-profile events, and recruits politicians like Icahn and Alan Simpson to promote his agenda in DC. Peterson spearheads the Fix the Debt campaign, rallying corporate bigwigs to amplify deficit fear-mongering. And their aim is to slash essential programs, eroding the dignity of hardworking Americans. This strategy isn't about aiding society, it's a dangerous pursuit that could harm those most in need. If you're enjoying the video so far, please support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Most Amazing, and ringing that notification bell. And number 8 is Stephen Schwarzman? Maybe. With a net worth of $6.5 billion, co-founding the Blackstone Group, and he's also known for throwing opulent parties. In 2007, he hosted a $3 million birthday bash at New York Park Avenue Amory, infamous for its extravagance. This event, marked by excessive displays like a 50-foot replica of his $40 million apartment, attracted big names like Bill Clinton and Cardinal Edward Icahn. Shortly after, the economy faced a downturn due in part to mismanaged debt from unregulated private equity firms. Schwarzman drew more attention by likening tax hikes on people like him to Hitler's invasion of Poland, sparking outrage. He expresses discontent for facing criticism post-financial crisis, raising eyebrows given his significant role. His actions and settlements reflect a disconnection from the hardships many face due to economic instability caused by such financial practices. At number 7 is Carl Icahn, worth $20 billion. He's often linked to the term corporate raider due to his shady financial tactics. He gained notoriety by taking over companies like Trans World Airlines, where he was called, quote, one of the greediest men on earth. Dubbed Icahn the Barbarian, his strategy involves acquiring a company, selling off its assets to pay debts, and profiting while jobs vanish. This elderly capitalist is attempting a makeover, hoping to be seen as a shareholder activist instead. Yet it's a big leap for someone who inspired Gordon Gekko from the movie Wall Street, alongside Ivan Boesky. Icahn's legacy revolves around ruthless takeovers, leaving behind a trail of job losses and wealth accumulation. His attempts at rebranding may struggle against his history as a profit-driven figure willing to sacrifice companies for personal gain. At number 6 is Berlusconi, a towering figure in Italian politics. He amassed an immense wealth through his telecom empire, amassing around $6.2 billion. He served as a prime minister, yet his tenure was riddled with controversies. His flamboyant lifestyle and scandalous bunga parties typified his image, normalizing a troubling blend of sexism and excessive indulgence. His legacy isn't just about wealth, it's about a saga of corruption and brazen escapades. Accused of numerous crimes from tax fraud to bribery, this dude's legal woes never seemed to stick. His solution was manipulating laws to avoid consequences. Despite a conviction for wiretapping and a jail sentence, his influence remains intact in Italian politics. His resilience in the face of legal battles and public scrutiny seems unparalleled. At number 5 is Sheldon Adelson, a billionaire casino mogul with a net of $36.5 billion. He holds a reputation for supporting controversial candidates and pro-Israel causes. Back in 2012, he made history by funneling over $100 million, the most ever by an American, to various conservative politicians. Adelson stands as one of the biggest financial supporters of the political right. However, his track record is shadowed by controversy. Adelson's Las Vegas Sands Corporation faced allegations of unlawful practices. Admitting potential legal breaches, Adelson acknowledged the likelihood of breaking the law by offering bribes to Chinese officials. This unethical conduct aimed to expand his business ventures and secure funding for his numerous projects. Such actions raise serious ethical concerns about the power wielded by billionaires. Some individuals like Adelson appear willing to engage in questionable dealings to further their interests. This behavior highlights the dark side of unchecked power and influence within the realm of extreme wealth. At number 4 is the Walton family. Known for their colossal wealth from Walmart, they symbolize immense riches in the US. Their combined fortune overshadows the bottom 41% of Americans combined. However, this enormous wealth is contentious. Their business practices lean on keeping wages low, affecting millions. Rob Walton, leading the board of a company paying around $12.50 per hour to full-time workers, perpetuates part-time employment to avoid even that meager wage. This practice is harsh. While they have the freedom to support causes they believe in, the consequence of their actions often has far-reaching implications. This immense wealth concentration highlights systemic issues, raising questions about the fairness of distribution of resources. At number 3 is Gina Rinehart. The head of an Australian mining corporation worth $17 billion, she sparks controversy akin to a character from the depths of Inferno. She's regarded as the wealthiest woman in Asia and the Pacific region. Rinehart champions an extravagant philosophy on wealth. She notably advocated for a paltry $2 a day wage and offered unsolicited advice to the impoverished, urging them to toil harder while curtailing vices like drinking and smoking. Despite blaming Australia's economic woes on a supposed anti-business stance, Rinehart, who inherited a staggering $30 billion, has never actually engaged in conventional employment herself. It's so intriguing that she maintains a Facebook fan page called Forget Gina Rinehart, except they use a different F word. The page dedicated to hating her is garnering around 40,000 followers. This contentious figure symbolizes the stark divide between extreme affluence and the struggles of the everyday worker. Her statements have triggered public outrage, positioning her as a figurehead representing the detachment of the super rich from the realities faced by ordinary citizens. At number 2 is Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch, worth a staggering $11.2 billion, stands as a controversial figure in the media realm. His News Corp has stirred public debate by spreading misinformation and breeding intolerance. The influence of his newspapers, magazines, and TV networks spans far and wide, often shaping political landscapes. This power creates a problematic relationship between money and the political sway, eroding the essence of democracy. His track record includes unsavory actions like union disruption, racial instigation, and monopolistic practices. Notably, a hacking scandal strained his reputation when employees of his newspapers indulged in unethical acts such as bribing police and invading the privacy of an unalived individual. Recently, Murdoch landed in hot water after making a tasteless joke on Twitter regarding an overweight person's misfortune. His insensitivity drew criticisms, reflecting a disregard for basic human decency. Such instances raise questions about the moral compasses guiding individuals of immense wealth and influence, highlighting the need for responsibility in wielding power. And at number 1, all of them. That's right. Every single one. The following excerpt is taken from TikTok from the user The History Wizard, who was asked to explain why all billionaires are evil. His words here, not mine, so I'll let you all decide in the comments if this notion of thinking is valid or Marxist. Ahem. Quote. So first, let's put a billion into perspective. 1 million seconds is about 12 days. 1 billion seconds is just under 32 years, which means that if you earn $1 every single second and you never spent any of it, it would take you about 32 years to even earn a single $1 billion. And there are people out there with multiple billions of dollars. Based on that math, we can conclude that there is no ethical way to acquire $1 billion because there is no physically possible way to earn that money solely through the value of your own labor, which means that in order to become a billionaire, you have to steal the labor value of thousands, if not millions of people. And we know that this is the case because between 1979 and 2021, the average productivity, meaning the average amount of labor value produced by the workers, has increased by 64.6%. Meanwhile, the average wage of workers has only increased by about 17.3%. That's a difference of nearly 50% in labor value. So already, billionaires are stealing 50% or more of their workers' labor value so that it can sit around in investment funds and stock portfolios, providing nothing of value to society. And when we start to take certain other things into account, it gets even worse. There are currently over 582,000 homeless people in the United States, many of which are not even adults. And in the year 2020, there were more than 34 4 million food insecure people in the United States. That's about 10% of the population that doesn't know where their next meal is going to come from. Now, do you know how much it would cost to end homelessness in the United States? According to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, it would cost $20 billion to end homelessness in the United States. And there are currently 770 billionaires in the United States. Putting aside the fact that Elon Musk alone could end homelessness for half the cost of what he paid for Twitter, if we split it up evenly across all 770 of them, each of them would only have to pay out a lowly $26 million. And yet, despite the ease at which they could end homelessness in the US, billionaires are wasting their money on vanity projects like, I don't know, ending their lives in a submarine at the bottom of the ocean and buying Twitter. There is no room for billionaires in an ethical society. They quite simply shouldn't exist. End quote. As always, if there's an evil billionaire that you think I've missed, feel free to let me know down in the comments. This has been AJ Spatola with Most Amazing, and I'll catch you all in another video. Later.